Hello everyone, welcome to lesson 9 in Microsoft Excel, and today we are still going to be looking at printing and adjusting your content in Excel because it's tricky. Somehow tricky when you want to print. Excel deal with sizes. So how are you going to know the type of content that how many cells will be able to include in your paper so that it won't cut it out if you are printing it? Imagine if you are using like A4 paper and your particular your content reaches this P column here, but by default there's a place that Excel will cut. Do you understand that? Like I explained in the last lesson, that example, if you are using a portrait, for example, let me quickly show you something. So let's use this. If I want to print now, for me to see where a cell Excel. Now don't forget I said I choose your maybe page. Let's say this is portrait now. So let's say I want to print on portrait paper, size A4 abi. Okay, so now once you say page layout, print, set print area. Now once you see this line, anytime you see this line, even after you set your portrait and size, you would have seen this line. See this breaking line like this. This is where Excel will cut your printing on A4 paper in portrait. You can see this one from A to I, then from J to R, like that. So that is where anytime you see this breaking line, it means that is where Excel will cut your workbook. That is where Excel will cut it if you are printing. So anything you put here, if you do from A to M, that means from this J to M will not print on your paper. Do we understand that? So but how are we going to do it? Now this one is part of it. When you see this line, know that is the limitation for portrait. And I still say that you can set if you know that you are using maybe up to M, you can change your orientation. You come to page layout, orientation, landscape. So landscape now give you rooms to extend your distance to N. See it now. So because landscape on its own is like a bend paper. I'll show you what a landscape and portrait is in the last lesson. I'll show you that. So that is some trick in making sure that your workbook come out when you are printing it come out very well. That's the trick, because if you choose portrait will stop at I, you can see it. But if you choose landscape will stop at N. So now let's go back to that particular one. Now the first thing in adjusting your content so that it will fit the paper is the one I've explained so far, that you can go to page layout, you can say portrait or landscape. You understand? If you know that your content is your cells are not much, you can choose portraits. But if you know that your cells are much, you need to choose landscape. So but if you know that your cells are not much, you choose portraits. But if you know that for this one it will stop for portrait, for this one it will stop at E, because this already has been enlarged. The more you reduce it, the more those spaces will be. Yes, that's how it works. And that's why the more your cells are small, the more it will fit on the paper, the more cells that will contain. But make sure that it's not too small, you know, make sure that it's not too small, so that people will not be able to read what you put on each cell. So but the more it's small, the smaller it is, the more space it will be giving you, more space to put on a paper. I hope you understand that. So, and one trick is using portraits. If you know that your cells are not much, you can use portrait. But if you know that you have like plenty cells to print, use landscape. Landscape will give you some rooms, it will extend it for you. All right, that's the first trick. Now another thing is using fit to content. So let's say I want to print this one, for example. You have and don't forget, another thing is that you can actually select where you want to print. Let's say I want to print from this A to D. Let's say I want to print from this A to D. Now you need to select okay, this one has been heading. Okay, so let me show you here. All right, let's say I want to print from this A to D now, A to F. Let's say A to F. I just want to print only this one on paper. Don't forget that I said that you need to put border, because this line will not show. Do you remember? So you need to put all border so that they will show the one that you want to print. So let's say I want to print from A to F. Now